Well, another clean sheet, Keith, and a real impact by your substitutions as well, so you must be overall very pleased.
Yeah, I think we've got to give credit to the starters though. We had to make tactical substitutions because we wanted to win the game. We want to win every game, we prepare, train to win every game. But things changed during the course of that first half, that we had to make the changes at half time, and I thought they were the right changes, and it proved to be correct to do it, and we got a positive result.
I mean, a terrific header by David Nugent, and a good cross by Liam Feeney for the goal as well. I mean, quality in both areas there.
Good build-up play. I don't think we could play through them in the first half. It was very competitive. It was almost like a basketball match in the middle of the pitch. We needed to get the ball wide, so two things that we all needed to alter was the ball sticking in higher areas of the pitch and getting the ball wide, and it worked to good effect, but it didn't just work to good effect. I thought some of the football was outstanding in the second half.
Yeah, a lot of joy down the right hand side, didn't you? I mean, Liam was going wide, Otis was getting involved as well, and caused some real problems down the right flank.
Well, you just have to change things to alter the course of the game, and I think we did that, and there was some good play, and we were very effective down the right hand side of the pitch, and I think it's a great header, and it's one worthy of Nugent's status within the game, and it'll give him a bit of confidence, and he looked good when he come on. He did, he looked good, he looked hungry, he looked lively, and very impressive.
All his career has been very good between the posts, if you like, in that sort of area, hasn't he, sort of thing, and that's what you want, that's where you get the best of David Nugent.
It's not just strikers, defenders have to be good between the goals, the goalkeeper, the defenders, straight down the spine of the team. And we're encouraged by that 45 minutes, very encouraged by it.
As far as the other results are concerned today, obviously, you're still in there, aren't you, with the shout, so it's important to win today, and that's all you can do is control your own destiny.
Yeah, I think so. We're doing, I think we're doing more than okay. I don't know, I just get a feel that we're not doing okay. I just get that feeling, that tinge, but I'm quite good at poker. I've told you before, I play cards, I can read people, I can read an atmosphere. The atmosphere in the changing rooms is good on the training pitch. But I think we're being successful. Maybe I'm delusional, maybe I'm still stuck in the 80s, the 90s, and I'm not like modern day enough. Not too sure.
I think the feeling from players is very, very positive. You're quite right, Keith, and as I say, if we look back to the early stages of the season, to be in the playoffs now, you're still with 2 games to go. You've got a shout of top 3. I mean, in anybody's book, that's a really good season.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're doing well, but the season's not over. We've got 2 more league games. We want to get 6 points and see where that takes us. But we're encouraged by obviously 2 wins in a week. It lifts everybody. And previously said there's not an awful lot wrong, and there hasn't been an awful lot wrong. I think we've kept 3 out of the last 4 clean sheets, or 4 out of the last 5, so we're encouraged by that, and we just need to have a little bit more freedom, in the offensive area of the pitch, so that we can maybe score more than 1 goal, but 1 goal's enough at the minute with the way that we're defending.
Clean sheets can take you a long way, can't they? I mean, you stay in games all the time, so it just needs that one little bit of quality, to actually win a game for you.
It certainly does. Somebody who lives just around the corner from where I live, Sam Allardyce, he's been very successful on clean sheets. So, I think we're encouraged by the way that we're defending, and we have won the last 2 games keeping clean sheets, so we're really pleased.
I think we talked on Tuesday night about the abilities of different players to adjust and play slightly different roles in games as well, and we've seen that today, as you say, in the second half with the way that players have been able to interchange.
It's okay suggesting and making the adjustments, then you've got to have the performances, and we got the performance once we made the adjustments, and we had to make the adjustments. You don't know which way it's going to go. You're not taking a leap of faith, you're organising as a coaching team, you're putting your trust in the players to work things out on the pitch once we give them the key components of the way that we want to play.
And you need acceptance from the squad as well, don't you? When players come off and others come on, they're all pulling in the same direction, and that's a very important part of this, the way that you've had the success so far this season.
It's the only way that you can build success. You need everybody, rowing in the same direction. You need and you want players to be disappointed when they're not playing, but you want them to be hungry, to be ready, to respect. The team is the most important component of any success.
And now you have got a week, prepare for the next game. That's not been the case very often this season at all. Does that change the way in which you prepare for next Saturday at all?
Yeah, it means I'm going to go out and get drunk, basically. So we don't have to think too much during the course of the week. And I think it's important that the players, have a little bit of relaxing time. Make sure that they still realise, and they do realise, that the season's still alive and we've got a lot to compete for. And we have to be competitive. And I thought we were very competitive today, and we've got a positive result.
I know you don't get ahead of yourself, but I suppose the mentality is the same, isn't it? I mean, all you do is try and make sure you win next Saturday, and then see where that takes you.
Yes, simple, simple structure, flexibility within a framework, key components that we need to keep doing to be competitive in games, and then that little bit of magic, which is what we got today.
Paul Lewis very close to a second goal today. His header just tipped onto the crossbar, but there were a couple of crunching challenges as well. I mean, it was one of the first off, I think, where he went down after a long throw, and then that 50-50, if it was, in the second half as well.
I don't think it was a 50-50. I think you're being kind there to Banksy, but he's very competitive, Paul. And he very nearly scored, but for a great save, and it was another good move down the right-hand side of the pitch. And again, while we're planning for successes, the opposition are looking at how we've been successful, so they're planning to try and stop our successes. So it's just we have to keep moving, we have to keep jostling, we have to keep rotating, and it might be a change of shape, it might be a change of personnel, within that 90 minutes. But within that 90 minutes, as well as successes, there's a lot of pain as well.
Good victory today, Keith. Well done.
Thank you very much.
In that first 40, or after that first 45 minutes, I'm thinking to myself, where's the creativity coming from to break Barrow down here? And you've made changes that have effectively won the game. You've been looking for an answer to the problem of having no James Vaughan in that focal point. Have you found that answer today, or have you just found a way of beating Barrow?
I think we found a way of beating Barrow. I don't think we can look too far in front of that. We've had to make changes today. We made changes, I don't know whether you noticed, within the first half at Bradford, with the personnel that was out on the pitch to be more effective against the opponents, and we got that. And again today, we've made changes to be effective over 90 minutes. Now I think we're going to have to keep making plans to be successful against the opponent next week, Forest Green, but be adjustable with the start serve and be adjustable with the substitutes and our tactics, shape I suppose, in relation to the opponent. So we're going to have to be flexible with the group of players, on trying to squeeze as many victories as we can out of this team, from now to the end of the season.
Strikers are always judged by how many goals they score ultimately, and David Nugent's got one today. He's took some criticism in corners, not being mobile enough, is he past his best, etc. But today is probably his best performance for Tranmere, wasn't it? And it looked like him, once he'd got the goal as well, his whole game seemed to grow from that point in his own confidence.
I've not realised there's been any criticism coming his way, but I wouldn't be so disrespectful to somebody who's represented England, played in the Premier League. I don't know who we are to judge. That includes myself, somebody like David Nugent and the career that he's had. I wouldn't dare judge him, knowing where I played and what I've done, and even my, career as a manager. So I think that he's had a very good 45 minutes. He's been a key component of what we've been trying to do, during the time at which Vaughan has not been fit. He hasn't quite hit the straps where we would expect him to. But let's hope today, that's the start of, what could be a magnificent end to the season for him.
Liam Feeney as well, involved, and involved in the game throughout. Did his deliveries been more on point today? He puts a lot of balls in the box during every single match, so you can't always get them all spot on, but certainly in that second half he seemed to be finding his range well.
What are we criticising Fiends again now? Are we suggesting that his cross has not been good enough? Because I believe it has. I think at the assist, and again I trust the players, I believe in the players, and we don't always get it right. I can't think of one team that I've had, as a player or as a manager, where I've got it right, where the players have got it right continually over 90 minutes. But we seem to be in a culture, a society, where we look at the bad things all the time instead of the good things. And I tend to try and look through the eyes of what the players are doing well.
Does that culture exist because not all results have gone this way, or am I just being an over-picky journalist?
I don't know, to be honest, but we've lost 12 games and I've been responsible for 7 of those. Out of 31 games. Now, if you're looking at my record, you know, it's over 50% win percent ratio since I've been at the club in all competitions.
Moving into the last couple of games of the season then, 3 clean sheets on the spin, 2 wins on the spin. Now, a bit more pressure off in terms of the automatic promotions because you're now relying on snookers to get into that position. Does that give you a bit, you know, or the team as a whole? You say there's a good atmosphere in the dressing room. Does that give you good confidence going into what looks like will be, you know, effectively a small knockout stage of the season?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't judge things like that. I have to judge it on a daily basis. You know, I'm working with a group of players, and there is ups and downs. There is good moods and bad moods. There is good training ground performances and match day performances and bad ones. But you've got to like summarise, you know, what you want from your team going into the next opponent, and the next opponent's Forest Green. But they're confident, they're competent. We're really fortunate that we are in this position. Fortunate because we work so hard as a group, and the supporters, yourselves in this room, you know, the board of directors, everybody's working really hard to try and bring the success. But I really don't know. I don't know what's going to happen over the next 2 games, whether it's 5 games. But we're going to give everything that we possibly can, and the players have done. We all have done. We work tirelessly every day. And we're in the training ground 6:30 in the morning, planning. You know, and sometimes it doesn't work. But this victory today doesn't mean that it's all right. You know, we have to make sure that we continue to try and strive to be better every day. But I can't predict the future, but I've got a plan for it.